This is George from iTech Legion. We're seeing a recent trend of people being a lot more conscious of the airflow within their cases. As a result, we're seeing cases being released with more and more fans included and with more and more optional places to put fans. Now, we're also seeing people taking advantage of it. So it's not unusual in a water cooling system to see 10 or 12 fans in a case, especially if you're doing radiators and push-pull or whatnot. But the thing being, you're going to need a way to control them. Might seem like a good idea just run them full blast all the time, but that's not necessarily going to give you optimum airflow, nor is it going to give you optimum airflow to noise, that's for sure. You're definitely going to be overwhelmed by the noise in a situation like that. So often an external fan controller is the way to go. Today we're going to take a look at the BitFenix Recon, which is a very interesting 5-channel fan controllers with some very, very unique features. Getting our first look at the Recon, let's run through the box very quickly. Obviously, picture of the Recon all lit up on the front. And down here, it does say internet connection or connected from mobile devices. So you can actually control the Recon, believe it or not, from mobile devices. Moving around the back, do get our specs. It's made out of SofTouch ABS plastic and steel. It's a 5-channel controller. Like I said, 10 watts per channel. It has 5 temperature channels, so 5 temperature probes can be hooked up to it. Temperature range of 0 to 100 degrees. Temperature or measurement frequency is 0.1 to 0.4 seconds. Temperature alarm range, you can actually set an alarm from 30 degrees to 90 degrees to alert you whenever a temp probe goes over that temperature. And finally, touchscreen size of 4.7. Moving over to the features, we see once again the internet connected, touchscreen controls, dual processor technology, so it does react very, very quickly, which is very nice. System status monitoring, 5-channel thermal control, customizable profiles, and finally SofTouch bezel. You know, we've seen the BitFenix SofTouch bezel on quite a few pieces, and they really do, or I shouldn't say the bezel, but just the SofTouch material, and it is a very nice material. Repels fingerprints pretty well, but looks really nice. So taking a look, as you see, very, very simple, 5¼ inch drive size. So we'll go into a 5¼ inch optical slot. So you've got the bezel with the touchscreen in the center. But moving around the back, where all of the actual guts are. See, we've got USB cable. All the cables, by the way, are 24 inches or better. So BitFenix does give you quite a bit to work with. USB cable, which is going to hook to your motherboard, allows the software to control the unit. 2 fan connections over here. 5 temperature probe connections. So if you you don't need to use their particular temperature probes, which are all stick-on. As you see, you can use any 10K probe. So if you want to use like a liquid temperature probe or whatnot, if you're doing liquid cooling, it can go in there as well. Use any type of 10K probe that you like. You've got 3 more fan connections over here. And finally, your 4-pin power connection. So you've got 4-pin power, all the fans, 3-pin, no PWM, although a 4-pin fan will plug in, but it's going to run it on DC, not PWM. Just keep that in mind. So it's not going to work with something that's strictly a PWM piece, like a pump that takes its power from elsewhere. Any fan that takes its power from elsewhere and works off PWM signal, this is going to be DC control only. So keep that in mind. Like I say, if you are plugging in a 4-pin, it will work with a standard 4-pin PWM, but specialized PWM devices, not so much. You can also see you've got heat spreaders, keep it cool, and as you'll see, it's going to fit very, very easily, nice solid steel construction into 5¼ inch bay, and you'll just pop 2 screws in each side, hold it in place. So good looking controller. The Recon, just right out of the box, very nice looking, like the long cords as well as the flexibility that it offers. In terms of accessories, first thing you notice, Recon, there's a small piece of paper with where to go to download the software. The software is not included physically in the box. You do need to go download it. Next, quick start guide with programming for the software. Very, very simple installation, obviously, and some software instruction included. Next, moving on, 2 fan extensions in case you're going to a really hard to reach place. 2 extra temperature probes in case you have a problem with one. Adhesive for attaching temperature probes. And finally, 4 screws to hold it into place. In the case, the Recon's a very good looking controller, as you see. Very easy to read LED display, all blue, as you see. So very simple to use. Let's go through some of the operation here. First off, you see the 5 buttons down below. I shouldn't say buttons, but the touch pad, which allows you to select your channel. Now, as you select the channel, you'll get a readout of the fan speed as well as the temperature probe associated. So that's going to give you the 2 readouts right there. Also, it selects the channel you're working on. For example, also now if you touch the speed up top, or I shouldn't say speed, the temperature, you'll see it start flashing, and you can then set your alarm temperature. It does give you an audible alarm when this temperature is reached. You can set it, tap again, and it's now set for 70 rather than 80, and you can set it wherever you like, anywhere you think you're going to need an audible alarm. This, of course, goes with any of the channels. You see it's in auto mode, like I say. Auto mode, you're going to be at 40% fan speed at 20 degrees centigrade, and it's going to ramp up to 100%. It's 60, and anything above 60, obviously, it's going to stay at 100%. Now, moving over to manual, gives you manual control over the fan. And set your fan speed, simply tap the fan icon, and use your up and down to select the fan speed you like. And now it's going to stay at that fixed fan speed until you change it, or until you flip back to auto. So very simple to operate, like I say. Also up the top, you'll notice you do have a speaker icon. That is a mute for your alarms. If you don't want to hear your alarms, just hit your mute button. Otherwise, you're going to get your temperature alarms at whatever temperature you have set. So all in all, very simple to operate. Good looking in the case, like I say. And you've definitely got a decent looking LCD screen here, like I say, and very easy to operate. So nice job by BitFenix on the display. And let's take a look at the Recon software. Important to note, the software does actually open in your web browser, so whatever you have configured as your default web browser is what is going to open the software. So now taking a look through, obviously, very, very simple. Going up top, obviously you have all your channels listed out here with their respective speeds. You also have your temperature warnings right up top, which can be easily enough manipulated, as you see here. And moving over, got your centigrade. Switch over to Fahrenheit if you like. And you see your temperatures in Fahrenheit. Switch back to centigrade. Your auto and manual buttons. Auto obviously puts it into auto, all the channels. Manual, of course, knocks all the channels into manual. And once you're in manual, of course, you can set them wherever you like, and you will get a fixed speed. You've got 3 presets, which of course, as you set, you can save any of your presets and then load them later, or just simply select your preset to have it go over to it automatically. So like I say, really just an incredibly simple interface. And put it back to auto. You can shut down the monitor, and also it shows your IP address and your router IP address, which is going to be used for your mobile monitoring. Like we say, you can actually monitor this from a mobile app or from any other computer on your network. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get the port forwarding working. It's a problem with the particular router here, so I'm not going to be able to show you that. But you do need to forward the port. Now, also, if you don't have a static IP, you're only going to be able to use this on your own network. You're not going to be able to access it from outside of your network. So, very, very simple software, does exactly what it's supposed to, and basically mimics exactly what you find on the front of the Recon itself. Overall, BitFenix did a really nice job with the Recon. I really have no complaints with it whatsoever, especially not at an MSRP of $39.95. It definitely brings some things to the table that we're not used to seeing at that price point. I love the fact that you can use other temperature controllers, obviously, other than the ones that come with it, and you can tie them to the fans themselves. I do wish you could have, linked together channels to use, for example, 2 fans on one temp probe, but that's a small thing, and honestly can be solved with freeware that is available for the Recon. 5 channels, 10 watts channel. The auto mode actually out of the box makes a whole lot of sense, the way it's set up, with the temperatures that are associated with it and the fan speeds. So it works very, very well out of the box. $39.95, like I say, very, very powerful piece. Offers an awful lot of things we haven't seen before, including, internet connectivity. So I'm going to give the BitFenix Recon an High Tech Legion Editor's Choice Award, and very, very deservedly so.